unicorns of the world, and welcome back to my channel. If this is indeed the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So you guys, today's video is a very fun and interactive one. Not only are we going to be figuring out exactly what the urgent messages about your future are, we're going to be doing so by using our crystals, our tarot cards. We are also going to be receiving postcards from our guides. So expect one of these postcards at the end of each one of these readings in order to just get even more information about your future and what the urgent messages really hold. So make sure that you watch your reading all the way to the end in order to not miss out on messages in form of these postcards directly from your spirit guides. And before I get into the 4 groups that I have prepared for you, I have an exciting announcement. I'm going to be giving away one of these angel aura bracelets to one of you beautiful little unicorns. And even though I live in Switzerland, it doesn't matter where in the world that you are, you can still participate in the giveaway. So all you need to do is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, and leave a little angel emoji on my latest Instagram post. That way I can get in direct contact with you if you win the giveaway. So it's that simple. Make sure that you subscribe, follow, and leave a little angel emoji on my latest Instagram post. So these bracelets are made out of pure angel aura crystal. They're highly rejuvenating as well as soothing. They help you to kind of come back to a peaceful space. And depending on how the light hits your bracelet, it kind of glistens in every color of the rainbow. If I have not already, I will insert a photo of what it looks like in natural daylight, because my artificial light does not even do any of these crystals justice. And speaking about crystals, I want to move straight into the 4 groups that I have prepared for you today. So if you want to figure out exactly what urgent messages are here for you in regards to your future, please pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever group that you feel the most drawn to. So we have the Amethyst, we have the Rose Quartz, we have the Amazonite, as well as the Aragonite. As usual, the timestamps can be found in the description box as well as pinned to the comment section. So I'm going to be starting off the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Amethyst, and to all my other gorgeous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amethyst group number 1, and the Amethyst is a stone that helps kind of bring out your psychic powers. It is a stone that helps kind of get your intuition rolling, if you know what I mean. So that may be one of the reasons why you ended up choosing the stone, but you may have also just felt drawn to it because, I mean, who does not love a gorgeous raw piece of amethyst? But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what urgent messages we have for you in regards to your future. So we have freedom as well as fulfillment. So it's important for you to know, group number 1, if you have been worrying about freedom, if you have been worrying about whether you will be fulfilled or not, okay? Worry not, because the more you worry, the more you're going to attract the things that you don't want, because you're worried about, oh my God, this might not happen. And where is the energy going? Into the places that you do not desire, that you do not want more of in your life. So make sure that you kind of chill when it comes to these 2 topics, especially freedom, financial freedom. Things can be kind of scary, especially now at this point in time in the world. You know, things are at a very vulnerable and difficult state, and it can be easy for you to freak out and kind of feel as though freedom is something that is moving further and further away. But there are still winners in every situation, okay? In every kind of like situation where there's a lot of, how should I say, there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of financial loss. There's a lot of things that are difficult at work. And I'm talking about now things that have to do with your career, with your finances. When, you know, one industry goes down, another industry is booming, another industry is flourishing. So don't feel as though, you know, there's only loss in this world. There are also places where you can maybe carve out a niche where you can start your own hustle, where you can start something that can be an added stream of revenue in order to make sure that you secure that freedom for your future. Then we have the Page of Acorns as well as transformation. So group number 1, it's important for you to not worry so much, but instead kind of transcend from worrying to actually doing. That is one thing that I see in the Page of Acorns. The Page of Acorns is someone who likes to get things done, somebody who is enthusiastic, especially at the beginning of a new project. So it's important for you to know that if you're not enthusiastic about an opportunity, a person, a love interest, right from the start, it's probably not for you. So you need to be into it right from the get-go in order to have that fulfillment be a part of it either instantly or later down the line, because a lot of things are not really things that come with instant gratification. A lot of things you need to work on over time. And transformation, furthermore, I want you to know that with that transition in who you are comes liberation, comes freedom. So we kind of have that being spoken by the universe, by your guides 2 times here within your reading. Then we have the Two of Shells as well as the Hermit. Okay, so one thing that I see in the Two of Shells is a kind of love, okay? Energy that shows a union, harmony, 2 people together, 2 people who get along really well. So yeah, you can see that right there. So I want you to know that one of the urgent messages that you need to hear about your future is that it's okay to be somebody who maybe doesn't like to be the center of attention, or who maybe doesn't like to go out very much or do things that other people typically would like to do, say in your age bracket, your demographic, or just where you live, okay? It is completely okay for you to be this kind of, how should I say, your own being, your own entity, and to not feel like you always need a lot of people around you. That is one thing that I see in the Hermit that might kind of also worry you when it comes to love, because you may think to yourself, oh, like, I don't know if I'm gonna find love because they might find me boring, they might find me uninteresting, they might feel as though I'm not the kind of person that they can have fun with, if you know what I mean. Then one thing that I see here is that happiness is coming towards you. So group number 1, I want you to worry less and do more when it comes to your career, when it comes to your finances, and to just worry less when it comes to love, okay? I see that happiness is something that is coming for you. Happiness is something that you single-handedly destroy when you over-contemplate, when you think about things too much and just too deeply, you know, when you read into certain situations or your past way too much. So with you, it's not really that you don't learn from your past. The problem is you can read into your past so much that you're freaked out about the future as well as the present, okay? That can stifle you in the present moment. So try and move away from that kind of thinking. It's very important for you to hear this message in order to ensure that your future turns out as favorable for you as possible, group number 1. Then we have yes, we have there's something better, as well as unlikely. So whatever it is that you're thinking of right now, when it comes to love, when it comes to your career, when it comes to an idea, okay, I see that you're moving in the right direction, but at the same time, you can still discover the right path for you. So just because you're moving, say, south, does not mean that every path that leads south is the path for you. Within all of those paths that leads, so south is the right direction for you, is what I'm trying to say. But you still kind of have to figure out the right path amongst all of the ones that lead south that is the right one for you, that comes with the least amount of obstacles, okay? So I want you to know that there's most likely some better path for you to go down, because right now I see that the path that you're going down is unlikely going to be the one that will lead to that ultimate fulfillment, okay? So group number 1, readjust a little bit. If you've been in your head a lot, if you've kind of been freaking out, scaring yourself with your own thoughts, if you're guilty of that, okay, group number 1, raise your hands. Leave a little dolphin emoji down below, because the dolphin stands for happiness, not worrying, but being happy. So if you feel like often you have been your own worst enemy when it comes to happiness, let me know down below. That just basically shows that you're very self-aware. And when you're self-aware, you're capable of making a change. You're capable of steering things in a better direction. So that's already something to be proud of. So let's not shame each other or feel ashamed for sometimes taking our own happiness away, but instead, you know, admit that we're doing it, and then start to gradually work on taking less and less opportunities to be happy away from ourselves out of fear, anxiety, or things that are related to our ego being inflated. So then we have voyage, we have security, we have solitude, as well as standstill. So there is definitely a lot of stagnant energy here. This could be because, you know, you're staying at home more for very obvious reasons, group number one. So I want you not to feel weird about that or like that's a bad thing. I mean, this is just an urgent message for your future that you have to maybe stay at this point that you're at for a little longer than you thought, or it would be safe for you to stay at home at a standstill, not in too busy of a state for longer than you would like. So that could be uncomfortable, but it's for your highest good. As I can see here, that security is something that you need an urgent message about. Your security, your safety is the number one thing that you need to think of. One thing that I see here in Voyage is that if this time is teaching you something, then that you want to travel more, that you want to see more, that you want to do more. But it's important for you to not get out there too soon. So as soon as things return a little bit more back to normality in this world, in your life, try to spend enough time in solitude, try to spend enough time kind of figuring out what is the safest thing to do. Just because other people are starting to move around or starting to make moves, maybe even traveling, does not mean that it is the right thing for you. So that could be because, you know, your mental health needs a little bit more attention, or because your immune system is a little weakened. Maybe you have a cold, maybe you're just somebody who naturally does not have the strongest immune system. So you're going to want to classify yourself as somebody who maybe wants to take a little bit more time before they go and socialize and, you know, travel the world, just to make sure that you stay safe. I see that that is one of the urgent messages that are here for you. So let us move into your postcards in order to figure out exactly what divine message that your guides have for you. Okay, celebrate life, group number one. Dearest you, we need you to know that you can change things miraculously for you and everyone and make things right. It's never too late. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story, one in which you were a victim of someone else's actions or your own. You don't need to carry this around. You can set yourself free. Even advocating for good because of this experience requires your forgiveness to be effective. Forgiveness is never about condoning things that were done. It's about letting yourself off the hook from carrying the burden. Resentment and hurt are like viruses that spread to others, and that is the opposite of what you really desire, right? Imagine what your life would be like without the burdens that you carry when you do not forgive. You can do it. Everyone over here believes in you and adores you. So group number one, that is a message that I received for you. I truly, truly hope that you enjoyed your reading. I hope that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Rose Quartz group number two, which is a stone of endless love, of friendship, as well as just gratitude and appreciation. I mean, who doesn't love a good rose quartz? It is just one of those stones that is a staple that everybody should have in their home and their life. But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what urgent messages are here regarding your future. So we have the light as well as change. So group number two, it's very clear that in order to get more delight into your life, you need a little bit of change, okay? And change is not something that you necessarily need to go out to get. Change is something that starts from the inside. Change is something that starts internally. So once you change things on the inside, you will start to see change on the outside. That is exactly the message that we have behind your cards here. So what is it that you can change? What is it that you need to change, that you've kind of been, you know, maybe putting off? It could be being more confident, being more forgiving, being more accepting of others or yourself. So I want you to really tackle that, as that is one of the urgent messages in order to bring more happiness as well as just delight into your life. And then we have the Emperor, as well as the Magician. Okay, so we have a very interesting combination. In the Magician, you know, we have a character that is full of willpower as well as the desire to create. So I see that it is within you to kind of start change, to kind of get the change train going, if you will. But it's important for you to know in the Magician that you will try many times. You will try many different approaches, be it in business or, you know, that change that comes from deep within, and you will most likely fall on your bum quite a few times, okay? But that is fine, because the difference between a winner and a loser is the fact that the winner never quit. People who you see on top in business and life, just people who you admire, who have been able to make a change in this world as well as their own life and the lives of those around them, are people who have heard no more times that they can count, or people who have been told that they can't do something over and over again. But the difference between them and somebody that you maybe admire a little less, or just not in that way, is the fact that they didn't stop. They didn't give in, and they didn't allow somebody else to tell them what they can do and what they can't do. And that is one thing that I see in the Emperor, okay? Your guides are pushing you towards being more confident and courageous, and knowing that you decide what you do with your life. You decide where your life goes, and you decide exactly what you're able to create and what not. You don't allow other people to tell you who you are or what you're capable of. Then we have the King of Shells as well as the King of Crystals. So we have a lot of very authoritative energy here, okay? We already had the Emperor, who is a very, I mean, the Emperor already says it, okay? A leader, somebody that people admire, that people look up to, maybe even fear, that people respect. And we have the same thing here in the King of Shells as well as the King of Crystals. I want you to know that the King of Shells is somebody who has a lot of integrity, somebody who has very strong moral values. And the King of Crystals just kind of resonates in the sense of being committed to something when it comes to your career. So one thing that I see here is that an urgent message about your future is to be committed when it comes to the dreams that you have for your career, your aspirations, and also to not let your emotions get in the way, okay? The King of Shells is somebody who has a lot of internal harmony and who can differentiate fear between, you know, real risk. Because sometimes we're just afraid of risk, we're afraid of something going wrong, but it's not likely that that's going to happen, or it doesn't mean that it has to happen. But we still let that, oh, maybe if it does happen, get in the way between ourselves and our goals. So then we have know as well as trust. So it's important for you to steer away from that thinking, okay? To steer away from the thinking of, well, you know, statistically, 1 out of 100 businesses really makes it, so statistically my chances are 1%. Well, not really, group number 2. You have to steer away from that. That is exactly why we have a trust and know within your reading. And you know why you have to steer away from that? The answer is simple. Out of those 100 businesses, or 99 businesses that will most likely fail, okay? A lot of people maybe did not put enough work into it. That is a good portion. A lot of people did not believe in themselves or gave up too soon. That is another portion. And then another group of people were maybe, you know, too confident, or maybe they had something going on with their ego where they couldn't listen to new information and take it in order to be adaptable and make changes to make their business venture work, and that is why that failed. So the reasons are endless, and when it comes to succeeding in your career, it's really more about you and not really so much about the business. It's more about who you can become and what you're able to do and kind of adapt into when it gets critical, when it gets difficult, when things are very challenging, okay? So it's more about you than outside influences. That is what I see as an important message here. Then we have potential as well as simplicity. Keep it simple, group number 2, okay? You have been overthinking things, you have been overcomplicating things, especially in your career as well as when it comes to your mental state. It is easier for you to keep things simple. Allow yourself to just simply be happy. It does not have to be a complex reason why you're happy or why you're allowing yourself to be happy. You don't have to do X, Y, and Z before you can finally enjoy life. Keep it simple, because that is the only way you can see your potential. When you overcomplicate things, there is just so much noise around you that stops you, that prevents you from seeing who you truly are and what you're capable of. Then we have flow as well as community. So right now I see that there are things that are a little bit stuck within your community. There are things that are not really flourishing the way they could, and the person to get them to flow again, that person is you. So help out where you can. Help somebody who is close to you, somebody that you maybe even just know as an acquaintance. Help them out, ask them how they are doing. Even just asking somebody how they're doing is something that they will remember. And if there's someone who is kind of like a very gracious, grateful person, they will return the favor, and you never know when you're going to need a favor returned, when you're going to feel as though you need somebody to talk to, somebody to help you out with something. So make those first steps. I see that in the future you will need this person, or you will be grateful to be able to hit them up without feeling like you're just asking them for something without ever having done something for them. Okay, so right now, make sure that you take care of your connections, make sure that you take care of your acquaintances, and that you ask them how they're doing at this particular point in their life. So group number 2, we are almost at the end of your reading, but we are still going to pull a postcard out of this pile in order to figure out exactly what direct messages that your guides have for you, okay? So we have be fearless. So, dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So to get the answers you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask, why do you tell it? Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you. A story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world according to the story you tell about it, so make sure they're stories you are proud of. Genuine loving fan club. Okay, so group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found it insightful. Let me know down in the comment section what hit home for you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amazonite group number 3, which is such a gorgeous gem. It is a gem that allows you to refocus on what really matters and kind of calm down when it comes to the things that stress you out and that are taking your focus in different directions where you don't really want it to be. So that may be why you chose the stone. But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what urgent messages that we have regarding your future. So we have leadership as well as opportunity. So group number 3, I see that an opportunity of you becoming the leader is going to present itself in the future. But in order to be able to seize that opportunity or even see the opportunity, you have to already kind of like be in that leadership role, be in that boss role when it comes to your life. So if you have had the wind knocked out of your sails, if you have felt as though like you've been brought to a point where you feel not so worthy, lesser than, it's important for you to get yourself out of that little pit, out of that little hole, because you're going to miss out on this opportunity to take the lead on love, to take the lead on a project at work that is going to come with a lot of benefits that you will be able to reap. So make sure that you clear out any skeletons that you have in your closet that are tied to your self-worth and confidence, because you want to make sure that you're ready to step up to the plate. Nobody is going to follow the lead of somebody who seems like they don't know what they're doing, or who seems like they're not into what they're doing, if you know what I mean. And then we have wisdom as well as voyage. So be very smart, okay? Group number 3, an important message about your future and future ventures, okay, is the fact that en route to seeking more pleasure, to kind of getting out of the house, to going on adventures, okay, that you maybe shouldn't be going on at this point in time. I see that you have to be wise. You have to really think to yourself, what is important and why do I feel like going out right now? Is it because I'm bored? Is it because I should not and I want to be a little bit rebellious? Is it because I truly and genuinely need to or not? So I want you to differentiate between what is just going out because you want to, or because you know that feeling when you shouldn't be doing something and all of a sudden it's like everything you can think of, all of a sudden you want to do it, even though it wasn't that important until somebody told you you can't do that, and all of a sudden you're like, really? Watch me. So I want you to look out for that kind of attitude, because one thing that I see here within your cards is just the fact that you have to be wise about it, because there's most likely going to be some sort of punishment, some sort of bad omen that will follow you when it comes to that. So try and think clearly. Try to not get yourself into a situation that you're not supposed to be in the first place, and keep yourself safe, group number 3. Okay, be wise, be mature. Then we have blessings. So one thing that I see here is that listening to that inner voice that is mature, that is protecting you, that is wise, is going to lead you towards more blessings. And that is what I see here in being able to gain leadership, as well as taking the opportunity, is going to come with kind of like recognition, okay, as well as this feeling of, wow, you know, my life is so blessed. I'm so happy that I got this opportunity and that I was able to take it, to seize it when it presented itself in my life, okay? Furthermore, in blessings, I want you to know that not every blessing always just looks like a blessing or presents itself as a blessing, because sometimes people that we meet or situations that we are thrown into seem like a little catastrophe when they're in the wrong moment, or when they're dressed up in a certain way how we don't recognize it as a blessing. But as time kind of moves on, we start to think to ourselves, wow, thank God I never got that opportunity to, for instance, start this business, because right now I'm so much happier where I am in life. Or wow, thank God I met this person. At the beginning, I never saw them as a romantic interest, but turns out they are a soulmate of mine, okay? So there are many times where things don't look like blessings, where things seem like challenges, but in reality, they are blessings, and you just need to learn. These blessings come in this form in order to teach you, because if every blessing was just wrapped in a nice little red ribbon and presented to you in a beautiful box, you would not learn. You would not be as grateful for everything, because it would just all be thrown at you. So sometimes you have to learn that not everything will instantly seem like a great opportunity, but over time it will reveal itself as one. So it's important for you to be patient with these things when it comes to your future, group number 3, because if you're not patient, you're going to kind of egg things on in a way that is not natural. Then we have strength, as well as the Tower. So one thing that I see here in the Tower is the fact that you kind of have to release and reevaluate some feelings, okay? There are some things going on beneath the surface for you in your life that need releasing. So this could be resentment that you still hold, say, towards your father, towards your mother, towards somebody that you were in a romantic relationship with, okay? And I want you to know in strength that forgiveness is never about kind of condoning the behavior or saying that it was okay. It is about releasing yourself from any heavy emotion that may still be following you that was a part of that situation. So group number 3, don't feel as though I'm telling you to kind of forgive somebody if you're not ready, or to condone their behavior. I would never expect that from you. And as a Cancerian, quite frankly speaking, I don't do that, okay? We don't forget, and that is a fact. So it's important for you to know that strength comes from being able to free yourself of emotional burdens that come with things that you have experienced, destructive things that were of no fault of your own, but were still brought into your life and caused kind of trauma, okay? So don't be hard on yourself when it comes to that, and don't poison yourself with negativity, with still thinking about it, but then hope that the person who did it or the situation that caused it is going to die or suffer. The only person who is going to die or suffer is you, okay? So don't poison yourself with any of that negativity. You don't need it, group number 3, and you need to, quite frankly speaking, let go of it. That is one thing that I see as an important message for your future. Then we have a reconsider a year from now. We have a look for a sign as well as within the next few weeks. Okay, so group number 3, one thing that I see here is that it's important for you to look for a sign within the next few weeks that will have you reconsider the path that you're on right now. Okay, so paths need to change, we need to evolve, we need to continuously kind of like straighten out our path to make sure that we're on the right track for our individual needs. So one thing that I see here is that it's important for you to continuously do so, or else you will have to reconsider something really big a year from now. And it's way easier for you to kind of continuously straighten the path out as you go and continuously try and get yourself on the right track. Make sure that you're goal-oriented, that you're focused on what it is that you desire, than to check in with yourself once every 6 months, once every year, and notice like, oh, I am completely off of what I actually wanted. So make sure that you're constantly readjusting. I see that that will save you a lot of time, energy, and heartache in the future if you make sure that you check in with yourself again in a few weeks, especially in a few weeks, okay? Because you will have very clear signs whether you're on the right path or on the wrong path. And after those few weeks, continuously kind of check in with yourself, kind of figure out, okay, am I still going towards my goal? Am I not going towards my goals? What can I do in a way that would improve my life or improve my focus in order to get to where I want to go quicker? Okay, so constantly readjust, constantly learn, constantly grow. That is one thing that is very important for your future, where you've maybe been slacking. Not trying to call you out, group number 3, but these are just the messages that I see that are important for you to hear in order to create your dream future, your dream life. But let's move into your postcard for now in order to receive a divine message directly from your guides. So we have Be Fearless, group number 3. So dearest you, are you taking yourself and your problems too seriously? Maybe fear of the future is weighing on you. We would like you to take a little break from all that and start having fun. When you stop fixating on what has been making you heavy-hearted, we get a chance to move some magic in your direction. We just need you to let go a little. Spirit needs some room and gets very inspired by your laughter when you have fun. When was the last time you got really loose, silly, and goofy? Maybe you need to go dancing or watch some very funny comedy to make you laugh, or call the one friend you know that will remind you how ridiculous and delightfully giddy that you can be. You will return refreshed and renewed and ready to once again see the world as less daunting, and you will be ready to receive in perfect timing the bounty that Spirit has for you. Don't you just love how much we care about you? So group number 3, this is the postcard that I received for you, as well as a reading to go along with it. Let me know down below what hit home for you. And if you enjoyed this reading, of course, do not forget to subscribe to my channel in order to never miss another reading. So wherever you are in this world, group number 3, I hope that you're having an amazing day or night, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Aragonite, group number 4, and I want to move straight into your reading in order to figure out exactly what urgent messages that we have regarding your future. So we have actions as well as miracles. So group number 4, you have to take action. You cannot continue to watch Netflix, to sit on the couch, to overeat, to not properly exercise. You have the time, you need the motivation though, but in order for miracles to occur, in order for fun things to happen, things that you desire, you have to take action, okay? You have been a little bit too much at a standstill, and we want you to have these miracles in your life. We want you to succeed, but you can only do so by just being more engaged with yourself, being more engaged with your dreams, and disengaging with things that are keeping you stagnant. So that could be social media, that could be watching too much YouTube. I know, so weird coming from somebody who does YouTube, but you know, we want what's best for you. I want what's best for you, and it's highly essential for you to unplug and to get things rolling, to get action going. Then we have the 7 of acorns as well as the 5 of acorns. So both the numbers 7 as well as 5 in numerology are kind of hectic numbers, okay? They are numbers where a lot is happening. They are numbers that are not still. They don't have that kind of stability, if you will, okay? They're uneven numbers. The 5 of acorns is all about challenges and growing through challenges. So we always talk about post-traumatic stress, but what about post-traumatic growth? Nobody ever talks about that. Sometimes you go through something horrendous, but you come out of it a different person in the best way, because you know that if you would have not experienced that trauma, you would never be this strong. You would never be this fierce. So in a way, you're still happy, okay? So that is one thing that I see here in regards to taking action, in regards to getting out of that comfortable spot, out of that secure spot, and getting things done. In the 7 of acorns I see here, you need determination. And in order to kind of stay determined, in order to keep your stamina up, you have to fuel yourself properly, group number 4. Next time you put something in your mouth, that could be right now actually, maybe you're eating something, think to yourself, is this fueling me? Is this nourishing me? Or does this just taste good for a moment, but it's actually not doing much to fuel me? And if you're not fueled, if you're not fired up, if you are not nourished properly, that means you're not nourishing your dreams, okay? So don't just look at it as feeding your body junk. Don't just look at it as like, okay, I'm not taking very much care of myself. The greater picture is really you then not nourishing the things that you want, because guess who needs to make those happen? You. And you need energy for that, right? You need mental clarity, you need focus. So if you're not taking proper care of what's going into your body, you won't have the proper fuel that you need in order for your body to put out the work that you desire. So we have the Emperor as well as the Queen of Acorns. One thing that I see here in the Queen of Acorns is the fact that following your passion project is something that you should do at this point in time, group number 4, okay? Your passion projects are waiting for you, they're on the sidelines, and they're looking at you kind of like a little bit sad, like your music project, your art project is looking at you like, why did you give up on me? Like we could have really done something here, you know? And in the Emperor, I want you to know that it's important for you to sometimes just take the lead, even if you're like a one-man show. It's okay, because in order to kind of grow your base, your fandom, your employees, whatever it is that you're trying to create, whatever kind of tribe it is that you're trying to like get closer to you, it's important for you to know that in order to cultivate that, you first need to be comfortable just standing alone, because nobody wants to stand by somebody who is visibly uncomfortable in their own skin, group number 4. So that is one thing that I see here in the Emperor. It's important for you to kind of exude this energy of stability, to exude this energy of I'm here and I belong here. I know what I'm doing, and you need a reminder of that. It's an urgent message in order for you to not mess up your future. You will mess up your future if you feel as though you don't belong, as though you don't have the right to do things that other people are doing all the time, okay? You have just as much of a right as others, no matter what people may have told you in your past. Never forget that, group number 4. And then we have choose a new direction as well as take action. So as we were talking about, you kind of need to act. We have action, take action. It is very clear that your guides want you to act now in order to create a better future. You have been procrastinating, putting things off. I mean, who does not do that sometimes? It's completely fine, but you have to choose a new direction. You have to move into a new headspace, head frame. Stop asking yourself why you can't do it. Stop looking for reasons why it might fail. Look for reasons why you will succeed. Look for reasons why things are going to be turned around, and look back up. Right now, at this point in time, the world is in a very weird space. I think we can all agree that things just like this collective feeling that the earth has, this collective consciousness, definitely changes and shifts depending on where we're at, say politically, health-wise, where we're at financially in this world. So right now we're in a weird space, and it can be very easy to get sucked into negativity, to get sucked into thinking that isn't for your highest good. But group number 4, you gotta be woke, okay? You gotta be woke for yourself, because nobody's gonna come shake your shoulder and tell you to wake up. You have to do that for you. Then we have trust as well as power. Okay, so you are going to be entrusted with something big, a secret. It could also be financial responsibility. So this will put you in a position of power, group number 4. And one of the most important things for you to do, okay, this is a message for your future that is super urgent, is to make sure that you remain trustworthy. Do not even for a split second think to yourself about blurting somebody's secret out, even to the person closest to you. I don't care if it's your best friend, I don't care if it's your mom, you gotta keep that to yourself for a reason, okay? The same goes for getting entrusted with something that has to do with finances, getting entrusted with a large sum of money or a position at your work where you have a lot of power. You have to show that you were the right one, okay? You have to show that they did not make a mistake. That is the best way for you to move forward in the future. Don't abuse the power. Don't slack. Don't procrastinate when things need to be done. Show the world and the person who entrusted you with their secret, with their business, that they made the right choice. The rewards you're going to get from that are going to come back tenfold, and it's going to feel so much better than just having used your power to your advantage. And then we have a justice as well as the traveler. Okay, so group number 4, and justice, one thing that I see here is more clarity coming your way in the future. And I see here in the traveler that it has a lot to do with being able to get out and be as mobile as you want to be again, okay, with traveling and so on and so forth. Of course, right now that is something that cannot be rushed. It's something that cannot be forced, but I want you to know that that is going to be a big part of your life, an important part of your life, and it's going to bring you more clarity as to who you are and what you want. So of course, you can get kind of impatient right now with how the situation is, especially because you might want to take action when it comes to traveling, but your guides want you to right now take action with the things that have to do with you, okay? The immediate things that you can do, because often we kind of distract ourselves with, say, going to the store, going to pick up this, going to quickly do that, scheduling a meeting, and we have immediate things on our phones, our laptops, in our houses, in that junk drawer, on that desk, you know, that is cluttered, stuff everywhere, clothes on the bed, clothes on the floor, clothes on the chair, you know, just like a cluttered drawer. It is immediately in front of you. You know it needs to get done. Bills that have been piling up that you know are about to kind of like be too late to be paid, you know you need to do them immediately. So instead of scheduling things in to just seemingly keep you busy, I see that you have to act now on the immediate things, because you can't escape them any longer, group number 4. And I just gotta be honest with you, I don't want to create readings that just tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes you have to get out of that comfort zone. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do in order to feel proud of yourself later down the line, in order to feel better about yourself, you know? And that is just one of the things you can do to improve your life instantly. Those are things that you can do right now to take action, right now to shift things in your life. But group number 4, let's move into your postcard, shall we? So let's figure out exactly what divine messages your guides have for you. So we have to celebrate life. Dear you, there are times in life when taking a risk is better left for another day. Other times are perfect for taking that leap, no matter how dangerous it might seem. Well, hold on to your parachute strings, for today is leap time. Realizing that no matter what, we will not let you fall, drown, get lost, or hurt yourself in any way on this one. Even if it may feel like you are in free fall, we are here for you, and and you can stop freaking out about getting hurt and relax into this transition to something new. All the elements are in place and your soul is ready for a new experience. No matter what you're asking about, it's time to take the risk and do that thing that scares you. No matter what happens, you will land softly right on target. Don't worry about the outcome, Spirit's got that covered. It's taking the leap itself that's the point. We love your courage, embrace it. Okay, so group number 4. Those are the messages that we received directly in form of a postcard from your guides, as well as of course the messages within your reading that I channeled intuitively for you. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found it motivational as well as inspirational. Let me know down in the comment section what hit home for you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos.